following podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast Network.
This week on the Defy Life Podcast, the guys talk about Halle Berry and their other favorite cougars. They talk some NBA and NFL, and as always, they answer a listener question and wrap things up with some trivia. Let's get it. Yeah, that's what it is. I guess we gotta do it then. You all right? Two, pool, out, money, West Coast. Let's get it. Strap in, let's take a ride. Oh yeah, it's about that time, right? Been waiting all week to get to this. It's finally time to defy life. Let's chop it up, keep it real, no other way. That's what we do. We might disagree, but it's all love. Guarantee we gon' speak the truth. Yeah, this hit different. My guys with me, now who's with us? Stick around for a few minutes. It's contagious. You'll get it. You downloaded the realest. Don't feel us, forget out. You not rocking with Defy Life, then what's your life about? This ain't the Defy Life. Told you. On to the shy line. I'm gonna let this ride out though. This is the Defy Life. This is the Defy Life. Welcome back to the Defy Life Podcast, powered by the Defy Life Podcast Network. This episode is sponsored by Bud Bottles, home of the Bud Bottle and the Bud Freshener. Please visit budbottles.com for your odor eliminating needs. This is episode 169. Y'all come on in, wipe your feet, close the door behind you. I'm your host, J.R. Glenf, joined as always by my wonderful co-host, Thomas Stevens, Alvin Glenf. What's good with you, Pooh?
Man, nothing. You already know what it is. Ready to get it popping.
Yeah.
West Side. Had to throw that out there, man. I ain't said that in years. But let's get it going, man.
Word. No doubt. What's good, Al?
Shout out to all the Tupac fans in the building. West Side.
Oh, I thought Al was about to say East Coast, motherfucker. I thought you was about to shout that.
The Al in the 90s, yes.
Right.
I would have thrown a West Coast shot, but Al has evolved to a universal hip-hop dude.
Right.
So shout out to the West Coast. But what's up, fellas? It's good to be here, always. Looking forward to the show. Just, good energy and just feeling good. And as always, good to hear y'all voices. So let's get it.
No doubt. Well, man. Well, as always, before we get into the meat of the show, just got a little bit of house cleaning. Housewarming. I ain't buying no gifts, but house cleaning. Shout out as always to our patrons. Our patron of the week is Miss Gloria Fluker. Shout out to you, Miss Gloria. Thanks for all your support and all of our patrons. Thank you so much. People always ask, what's the best way to support the network? Go to patreon.com/Go Defy Life and become a patron. You can help support our growth, allow us to host events, and continue to work in our communities. For less than your favorite fast food combo, you can support Defy Life. You can find all of our podcasts at defylifepods.com or your favorite podcast platform, Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, Google, everywhere, all those places. Spreaker, which is our major platform. And you can find our written content at godefylife.com, the original. And you can find our branded apparel at defylifegear.com. Bunch of dope apparel, t-shirts, hoodies, bikinis, tank top, everything. So go cop that shit. And we might have masks soon, y'all. So yeah. So looks like we're gonna have masks soon. We're working that out. So go check out defylifegear.com. But yeah, man. I think that's it. Al, did I cover everything?
I think I didn't hear Pandora.
Oh man,
I'm just saying that's an inside joke. An inside joke. We ain't even going there. Just an inside joke. Just
right.
An inside joke.
Well, yeah. Well, you mentioned that we are on Pandora now.
Okay.
Yeah, we finally we finally on Pandora. But yeah, we are on Pandora, y'all. So if Pandora's your platform of choice, you can find the Defy Life Podcast on Pandora now.
Nice. But nah, bro, you hit it. You did a good job.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah, man. So straight on to our news tidbits. I couldn't wait to talk about this because I couldn't stop looking at her. Did y'all see Halle Berry half naked on the internet?
At the age of 54.
At the age of 54. Man.
Yes, I did.
So, man, Halle a different animal.
Yeah, always has been.
Right. So I remember, and just showing my age, but I remember when she debuted on the Arsenio Hall show, right after Boomerang, and Arsenio referred to her as the most beautiful woman in the world, and that shit might have been true.
Yeah.
You know, especially of the ones that we've seen at that to that point. But considering all things being equal, she still might be.
Yeah.
That's damn near 30 years later. Like it is crazy. So Halle being 54, she's older than all of us. And I'm sure even dudes half our ages think Holly's fine as hell. So in the vein of young dudes and old women, old fine ass women, Al, who's your favorite cougar of all time? And that can be in reality or on TV, movies. Who's your favorite cougar of all time?
So, it's funny. When I was reading and prepping for the show, this woman didn't come to mind. But now that we're in the midst of a show, she has, and I got to shout her out. So one of my mother's friends,
oh shit,
Miss Rampy, and I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to say her full name, but so my mother used to babysit kids, and this was one of, not sure she was one of the kids my mother she was one of Alicia's friends mother. So they were in the Girl Scouts together, and this is one of the mothers, the Girl Scout moms, and I just had the biggest crush. Wow. Like, I'm a teenager, and this woman, probably in her 20s, 30s, or whatever, and then that's about as far as it went. But it's just a little inside joke between me and my sister because she knows that if Al could have had his way, he would have definitely stepped to this ramping.
Wow.
But again, beautiful woman, again in her 30s. I'm a teenager, but I was just like, so I don't know what she looked like now, but the woman I came into the show with was Angela Bassett, and just someone who I've appreciated for years, and she's definitely aged very, very, very gracefully.
62 now.
Yes. Happy. I think she just had a birthday too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely high on my list, Miss Bassett, but Miss Rampy might be a little better.
Yeah, because you saw that in person. It was 3D. Yeah. Right. Oh, man. Yeah. Well, you can't go wrong with Angela Bassett, and I'll take your word for it. You can't go wrong with Miss Rampy either. So I trust you. Pooh, who's your favorite cougar of all time?
Man, it's always been Halle and Stacey Dash.
Oh wow!
It's always been those two. But since this conversation started off with Halle and of course Stacey Dash, I gotta throw Pam Grier.
Oh
yeah, I gotta throw Pam.
Nothing wrong with that.
She's
that just seemed like an
epitome,
right? And she was like 55, and she was still shaped like an hourglass, like a flawless face. Those three right there, man. I started and ended with those three.
No doubt.
Again, nothing wrong with her.
Nothing wrong with, can't go wrong with any of those. So I'm going to throw a name out here. Y'all might not know about this name, but Kathleen Joanne Bradley. Y'all know that name?
Catherine? No.
No. All right. Maybe you'll know her by Miss Parker.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's Miss Parker for Friday. Her real name is Kathleen Joanne Bradley. She might be my favorite cougar, my favorite neighbor, my favorite everything. She was a stud.
Right.
And she's truly a cougar in my book because she's apparently she was born 6 days before my mother.
Okay.
When I was doing my research, so she's born 6 days before my mom, so she falls into that cougar category. But yeah, any of these names, and then special shout out to and I don't even, I guess she'd be a cougar. I don't know if she'd be a cougar, but Nia Long. I don't know how old Nia Long is, but I know she's a little older than me, but I don't know if it was right. She'd be like big sister cougar to me. She ain't that older, but still, yeah. But yeah, man. So shout out to Halle Berry for breaking the internet and aging like wine, not like milk. So shout out to Halle Berry at the age of 54. Looking like she could still get it, basically. So
Basically.
yeah.
So did she put multiple pictures out there, or was it just one pic?
I saw two.
Okay.
So I saw one her on a skateboard, and two her coming out of the water. So I'm assuming if there was just one, I'd be like, oh, somebody caught a picture of Holly. Good job. But she was looking at the camera, and then there was a second picture. There's probably a whole bunch of pictures out there. So
Okay.
but yeah. So
I'm gonna have to go check it out.
right, I was about to say, set some time aside, Al, and go find it.
Check it out.
Word. Y'all, the NBA playoffs started yesterday.
Yeah. And started off with the play-in game that was pretty good.
Right, yeah. And yeah, very entertaining game. We've already had some upsets. And so first, and I didn't even think about this. Is the structure still the same as the regular playoffs now?
Best out of seven.
Best out of seven?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. I was assuming so, but I just thought about maybe it's not, since everything else was different. But yeah, so Orlando came out and beat Milwaukee today. So it's it's been good stuff, man. The Heat came back and beat who they beat today? The Pacers, yeah. So, some good stuff, man. And Pooh, I don't know if you was a Jimmy Butler fan when he was in Chicago, but I hate his game now. I hate Jimmy Butler's game, man. Because he's a shell of his former self. Like, he ain't nothing like Chicago Jimmy, and he still has the mentality of that Jimmy.
Right.
So it's just like, he's trying too hard, and it's just not there. And he's no longer the best player on the team. So Jimmy needs to be a second, third fiddle when he needs to be a second, third fiddle instead of forcing it so much. But he's still a viable player. I ain't saying he's trash, but he's not that Jimmy. But yeah, man. So
He balled out today, though.
he did. He got better as the game went along.
Right, he did. Yeah, right. Correct.
Because
after
right. So as the whole team, they came back and they balled out. I don't know. As everybody's listening to this, we'll have the benefit of results. But as of this recording, the Lakers and Blazers haven't played yet. So that'll be tonight. In a few minutes, actually. It'll start at
So
9.
I'm thinking they're gonna. It's a bad matchup. It's hard to pick against the Lakers, but the offense is definitely gonna cause the Lakers some problems, and LeBron and AD just gonna have to. They're gonna have to play well.
7 games, man.
Yeah, I don't think it'll go 7. Just because, like, I mean, it would shock me if it did, but I don't think it'll go 7. Just because, like, the Lakers still ain't up. Like, the Lakers are still the best team in the West, and it ain't like it's those Cleveland teams where it was LeBron and a bunch of dudes when Love and Kyrie got hurt, and teams like Indiana would take them 7. So it ain't like it's that. Like they still got AD, you know. So, and they, you know, and even like their role players are still really good players. So Portland basically got a hot Dame and a solid CJ McCollum. Like that's tough. If LeBron and AD are on the top of their games, that's tough to say. To count on it going 7, but Dame gets so damn hot at times, like it wouldn't shock me. So, yeah, man.
I think both teams have 2 players that, like the other team can't guard. Like there's no. I don't think they have an answer for Dame. I don't think they have an answer for McCullough either. I don't think they have anyone that can cover McCullough or Dame. And I don't think they can have. I don't think Portland has anyone that can do anything with Braun or AD.
Yeah, I would say
you're right on that.
Yeah, the only person like McCullough, I think Danny Green can hang with him. Just because, I ain't saying he's gonna shut him down. Yeah, he can move with him, run off screens with him. But ain't nobody. It's probably 2 dudes in the league that can guard Dame.
And guarding him, which is he's still putting up 27.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And of those 2 dudes, one of them play for the Lakers, but he's sitting out. So Avery Bradley's probably one of those 2 dudes. Okay. Yeah.
And then Beverly might be the other one.
And Beverly might be the other one, exactly. So Rondo, and Rondo's not there, so that's another body that's gone. So it's like Dame's gonna get his, and CJ's probably gonna get his. He's gonna have to work for it if Green's on, because Green can at least run off screens and not tire out.
Right.
But yeah, and nobody. And again, it's probably 2 dudes in the league who can guard LeBron, and 2 dudes in the league who can guard AD.
Yeah.
Maybe 1. And he was hurt this year. That's Durant. But
Yeah.
And that's a maybe.
All right, exactly. So it's going to be interesting. Like Al always said, you know, styles make fights, and styles of these 2 teams are really intriguing against each other. And Portland's definitely not your, typical number 8 seed.
Not at all. And I think, the progress of Melo this year, I think, is going to make it interesting. And I think he's definitely coming with a chip on the shoulder. So I think he's kind of the X factor. Him, I think, and Kuzma are the relative X factors. And I think both of them have an opportunity to prove something this series where, if they put up, if either one of them are averaging 20 plus, I think, that will be what their team needs. And it'll also be a sign that they have elevated their game for the playoffs to try to get their team to the finals. Because I think really for either one of them to go far, it's because one of those guys is right. They're that guy. And I think both of them have the potential in this playoff and this matchup, because they're going to get a lot of open looks based on the other 2 players on their team getting a lot of attention. So I think it's a fascinating when you come look at Styles type of a game. And I think and they also are going to play different styles of basketball. So I think the Lakers are going to get to a walk it, slow it down, pick and roll. LeBron and AD going, so we're going to run the offense through them as they should. And the Portland, they're going to try to get up and down the court, which might wear a team down in a playoff series, especially in a time where teams have only had 8 games to get ready. Where, you know, in a regular playoff series, I mean, a regular year, you know, it would have had a different effect. And this is a whole different matchup, I think. But in this particular situation, I think it's the matchup I wanted to see. It really is this one, OKC and Houston. These were matchups that I was really hoping they would play out, and it came the way the NBA wanted, and I'm looking forward to this game tonight.
Yeah, it should be fun. So,
the guy that I think has the 2 guys that I think have the most to prove, though, are, I mean, we talk about McCullough, we talk about LeBron, but I really think that the pressure, if there's any pressure, I think the pressure is on AD and the pressure is on Dame, because both of them are coming into this series with the ability to start their playoff, their legacy, so to speak. Right. Yeah. Both of them, they could start their playoff legacy, and well, it was that Corona playoff year. I took my game to the next level, and I've been that guy ever since. And it's gonna, you know, both of their teams need them to beat those guys, because they are. I mean, LeBron is the best player on the court, but I think these 2 guys, though, their franchises are dependent on them. Like, we need y'all to be all world. We need y'all to.
Yeah, and you can almost, like, you can see it through the screen. You don't have to be there in person to see how bad LeBron wants AD to be the leader of that, like the go-to. I ain't gonna say the leader, but the go-to guy on that team. He wants him to be especially on offense. He wants him to take over games, and that's why I agree with you. Like, they need him to do it, especially late in games, because, you know, LeBron is just at a point in his career where he can't continue to be that guy forever for 48 minutes a night. He needs somebody to be able to take over games. We no longer are going to see the hopefully, we don't, but we're no longer going to see the LeBron that can score 50 and will go out and do it. He's going to push AD to go be that guy.
Well, I don't think he could handle that type of, I mean, for a whole playoff
for a run.
Season,
I don't think you're right.
Right. That's a lot to ask of this man at this point in his career, which is why I think he's making what these veteran leaders tend to do in these playoffs is they like, okay, whether it's AD and Tim Duncan, it was, you know, David Robinson coming to Tim Duncan, it was Tim Duncan going to Kawhi, Tony Parker, you know, they get to the point where they're like, yo, you can count on me to be that guy, but really, for us to win it all, you need to be the guy.
Shaq going to D Wade,
correct.
Right. So it's going to be interesting.
And it works.
Yeah, it works, and it's necessary.
As we talk about this playoffs, and I mentioned the play-in game, shout out to Ja Morant, who almost led his team to a victory in that game. And while it demonstrated his greatness in terms of where he's at in his career, that game also showed why, all right, you ain't ready yet.
Right.
You ain't ready yet. But you gonna be nice when you ready, but you ain't ready yet.
Yeah.
And defensively, about 85% of those possessions, he was there. His end was there. It was good D.
Yeah.
Great D.
But
McCullough and Dame was going though.
Yeah.
Right. But that goes to show you, like, as good as dudes like Ja can be, like, I can't imagine having to guard Dame all night. Because we see how good Ja is, and you can look at him and Dame, just, you know, and then no shot at Ja, but those are 2 different breeds right now.
Right.
You know, Ja will be there soon.
To make that play at the end.
And this little stuff, like getting to your spot on the court, you know, getting your shot off, and like you said, even when the contested shots, like, don't blink an eye, and you sinking those shots, and like, those are things that you know that you not everybody comes into the league with.
Right.
He he definitely was right there with these guys up until about 3-4 minutes to go, and then it's like you see them go into another level with McCullough just like, oh no. Let me take the next 4 or 5 possessions. I got this.
I can do this. Yeah.
He can't guard me.
Right.
He can't guard me. If that's your strategy of putting a young boy on me and we're going to get to the playoffs, write it down. We're going to the playoffs. This dude can't guard me.
Right. Exactly. And that speaks volumes because that young guy probably be the best player in the league at some point in his career.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So that shows you how good these dudes are. Like, I know it's on a whole, like we can. I ain't got enough showtime to go to put lower enough to say lower enough, but it's on a whole different lower category than this shit. But I remember my freshman year at USC, and we would play pickup games and again at the rec, right? And that was when USC was like, the basketball team was like number 3 in the nation. When they had B.J. Mackey and Melvin Watson and Larry Davis, they still lost in the first round to Coppin State in the tournament. But they were number 3 in the nation at one point. And we would be playing in the rec. And, like, first time I played against Melvin, was the point guard. Shifty, really quick. He was just, you can give him a jumper. He wasn't going to hit no jumpers, but it was hard to stay in front of him. But he was still a bitch to guard, because he was so quick. And then Larry Davis was a shooter. So he wasn't going to go by you. He was just really smooth, but he had a perfect shot. And it's hard to, get your hands in his face because he was 6'4", and he elevated high. But you could still kind of guard him. But when BJ came into BJ Mackey, when he would come to the court, he was unguardable. Right. And again, on that level, BJ was like the Dame Lillard on that level. And I remember guarding him and it ain't shit I can do. He was literally pulling up from, Steph range at that point. And he wasn't a knockdown shooter, but he could hit those shots.
He was hitting them.
Right, and he was hitting them. And you had to respect it. And so it was nothing I could do to guard. So I can imagine being on that level and being Ja Morant and being like, okay, even guarding CJ McCullough for a lot of the game. You're like, yeah, this dude is pretty good, but I can, I'm gonna get mine at some point too. And then going to Dame, you like, yo, it's nothing I can do.
And he really was getting his, going back and forth.
Getting his. Yeah,
McCullough really showed so this is what a professional scorer is.
Right.
Which just means if I know all I got to do is get the next 3 or 4 shots, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the shots that I've been taking. I probably got 50,000 shots that I done practiced. And I'm going to do those 3 or 4 shots that I know. I dribble here, spin
get to
here.
my spot. Exactly. Yep.
That's one. Give it to me again. Oh, that's 2. 3. Yeah, 1. We got up 4 points now.
Right. Yeah. So, exactly. And that's what makes the NBA so fun is, to see those different styles and to see dudes come of age and going through those growing processes, because it's not like the NFL a lot of times is such a team game and a lot of players get lost in the scheme. The NBA is so exposed that you literally get to see dudes are exposed at a certain point. You get to see them grow up in front of your eyes. So it's always fun to come play outside.
Yeah, and it also what's so different is because it's so in the playoffs tend to be a lot of one-on-one or we just need
half-court
one basket
game,
or 2 basket, half-court game. You really get to see what makes a player unique or what makes them so special. And where, so he before the game, I was talking about it with my son, and he's like, well, for them to win, Dad, Ja's going to have to get 35, and he ain't going to get that. And I'm like, well, he can, though. I don't know if he will or he not. And he might have had 31, 32, so my son turned out to be right in terms of that's what they might have needed to win. But just the fact that, this dude was able in his first game to put up 30-something points, in a pressure, win or go home moment, just shows you at the age of 19, 20, that, when you get to see that in the playoffs, you're like, okay, yeah, that dude, he might have it. He might have it. He just got to get better at it.
Right. and more consistent at it, and all that's just a lot of at its because again, like you see Ja, and you're like, damn, but then you see Dame, and you're like, damn, right? So yeah, and that don't even like take into account like, I mean, so imagine even having to step it up even more, and you seeing like if you had to face like Kobe or. Like Durant or somebody who's that kind of scorer, or Ray Allen, like somebody like that, like you just like shit. This ain't gonna get 40 tonight. Ain't nothing I can do about it.
Ain't nothing like hey.
These are guys who might do it on a night. Like we're amazed with somebody who does it for one night, one game, or one series. The guys you've mentioned, they've done it for seasons.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Hey, and for the record, Ja had 35, 4, and 8.
Oh, he did get 35. Oh,
he get 35.
Okay.
I know he went for a time where he made like 7, 8 straight shots.
Yeah. He balled out. He had a good game. I mean, he had a couple of unforced turnovers that you would expect.
Yeah.
Down. It was near the end, so they counted. But at the end of the day, like you kind of expect that from a young player. They get a sense of how much to do, how much not. Just kind of can't do it all by yourself.
Yeah.
Right. No, I definitely agree. I have one question though, but I gotta shout out Donovan Mitchell. He's an animal.
Oh yeah.
Who is this LeVert guy though? Who is that guy?
Carson LeVert. Yeah, Carson LeVert. I liked him, and he was at the Sixers for a minute.
He wasn't getting no rub.
Yeah, he was, but that was when they were in the trust the process phase, and he was one of those young dudes who was kind of lost in the process.
Right.
But yeah, Carson LeVert he's always been nice.
Been nice. Went to Michigan. Kind of. I think he came after Tim Hardaway.
Yeah.
And that similar type of player. Best player at Michigan, but as you come into the league, struggling to kind of figure out like what's your role because you're kind of a tweener, and you got to get the right system to really take advantage. As he got better and with his game, but always has been a phenomenal scorer though.
He cold. He was giving it. He was giving it to the Blazers. He almost got him out of there.
Yeah. I like
38.
Yeah. He ain't much your Casanova. Him and Romeo ain't never been friends.
Right.
I'm not your Casanova.
Donovan Mitchell special, man. But we knew that though. Right. We knew that in his rookie year, but
Donovan's nice.
There's a lot of teams mad they didn't draft that kid.
Oh
man.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. We passed him. We suck though. We coming up though. We coming up though. We don't fire that bum bowling.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be Christmas when I see we hire Mark Jackson. It's gonna be Christmas for me.
Man.
Okay. Is he in the running?
They haven't even listed anyone. They haven't even threw names up.
As much as I hope,
because he's a
right.
player developer, man. He get out there, get systems out there, and he had those boys buying in the D. Because believe it or not, I mean, he did a lot for that development up there, with the Warriors.
He made that team, yeah.
So I personally, he's been getting blackballed, but I hope we jump out there and take the chance and bring him in.
Yeah, as much as I agree with you,
deserves a chance. I don't remember.
Real dope.
Man. Jay, you back?
Yeah. But, yeah, man. I don't know. But as much as I do agree with you, though, Pooh, about Mark Jackson, I'm tired of being disappointed around that dude because he should have been at a job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And as a Knicks fan, y'all done passed on this dude way too much.
Right.
I like Thibodeau. He's had some success where he's gone and developed teams, so it's hard to too mad at this hire. But I look at some of the past hires, everybody from Fizdale to D'Antonio to Hornacek. Really, son? Mark Jackson or Patrick Ewing couldn't get a look.
Yeah, right.
I'll be mad. I'll be mad with Thibodeau. That's the old NBA, man. The NBA not there anymore.
That's true.
I like D'Antonio. He just didn't have the pieces that he need, but like that's what the NBA is today. You know,
but
what
they playing defense though. And they don't know how to spell defense in any language, Italian or English.
But to me, I'd rather have that than Thibodeau and Bowling. That's the old NBA. They run their players into the ground in practice. Like we were complaining to the labor board, the NBA labor board, like Bowling would run us to death before games. Like, and the guy saying we don't even have any legs for the games. Like that's how old school and idiotic this guy was. And you know we gave him an extension.
Where'd he come from? Was he an assistant on your?
Yeah, he was assistant with the Spurs for like 10 years. The old NBA. But even what's the coach name for the Spurs? Pop. He is adjusting to the league though. Mm-hmm. He's changing. He is changing. But Bowling, the old NBA man, Thibodeau, the old NBA, like that's not the NBA any longer.
Yeah, that's true. Well, question for y'all. Saw somebody talking about this on Facebook. One dude was reveling in the fact that the NBA's ratings are dropping and saying that it's all because of the counter protests of people not boycotting the NBA because of the Black Lives Matter movement and the jerseys and just the stance of most of the players. Do y'all think it's that simple? I mean, the NBA's ratings are dropping, but there's a lot going on. Y'all think it's that simple, just a counter protest, or think it's a lot more to it? Al, you first.
Definitely a lot more to it. I mean, I think while, it might have taken a hit, and I wouldn't be shocked if their stance on, being so committed to promoting the social justice, Black Lives Matter. I mean, that wouldn't shock me that people said, I'm not watching that. But that just speaks to where we are as a country, not whether or not it was the right thing to do. So again, that wouldn't surprise me. But I also think that you also have to factor in that there are, in this environment, one, there's a lot of other sports to watch at the same time.
Right.
You also have to factor in that the game times are different.
Right. That's my point. Yeah.
And then the third thing is it's different basketball. So I can imagine some people checked in and were like, "Yo, without the fans, this ain't the same for me." Right. And so I think it's a lot of factors. I just don't think it's easy to you can't just, it's easy just to say, it's the protest, but it's bigger than that.
All right. Yeah, Pooh, what say you?
Yeah, Al, he beat a lot of the things I was definitely going to beat. I definitely don't think it's that simple. I definitely agree with the different type of basketball, different times. I mean, I can't say most, but I'm pretty sure a lot of those guys that definitely get out there and watch basketball they were able to watch games because they were in the evening. And in this pandemic, they probably are frontline workers. I'm definitely just throwing that out there, but I definitely do think it has a lot to do with the time. Like this game right here, the game that's coming on later, I assure you that these games have more ratings than those games that are coming on at 1 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Right. So I think that has a lot to do with it, and I definitely don't think it's of course, we have some people that don't like the stands, but we have people that don't like any stance. They don't stand for anything, so they fall for everything. So, I definitely don't think it's that easy. I mean, by saying that is because of the matter. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think you're both right. I think it has something to do with it, because again, like there are people out there who, for some reason, don't like equality, right. or they don't like to feel uncomfortable. They don't like their sports to be a part of, like to them, sports should be a way to get away from all that stuff. And I get that. But then also with this different type of basketball where they're playing in ballrooms and there's no fans, there's no energy really outside of the players. one thing about fans is fans like to feel like they're a part of something.
Right.
And so when you turn on a game at 2:00 in the afternoon and you just feel like you're watching an AAU game, if it can be that way, especially before the playoffs started. And again, there's other sports going on. People have taken time to appreciate other things in life since we didn't have sports for so long. People are working jobs and shifts that they've never had to work before. People are working from home a lot more. So there's a lot of things going on that you can't simply blame it on counter protest, because like what we've seen is really people complain about this social justice and equality movements for a long time, but they can never stick to that boycott. Whether it's NFL or Nike, whatever it is, they always stick around. So I don't think this time will be any different. So,
right.
I also think, something else that came across my mind was the fact that it's August and July.
Right. It's not basketball season, right?
Right. So I think this is a time of year where just people's lifestyle doesn't necessarily say stay home and watch a game where, we're supposed to be kind of being socially distant. But that, people are still getting out and about, and whether it's shopping or going to the park or riding a bike or things you can do in the summer to where you're not just going to stay home and watch a basketball game. So I think it's just a lot of other reasons, and I think throw it all in, and I think that is why the score, the ratings might be dipped. And I mean, you're also looking at a Golden State is also not in the the play. So now you bringing out one of the bigger fan bases. They're not even playing no game. They weren't part of the bubble at all. So that whole fan base.
That's true. And they were a fun team for casual fans to watch. So
correct. Where they play. Steph Curry, megastar.
Right.
So,
Yeah, you're right.
I know I can honestly say that I hadn't watched, other than the Bulls, I hadn't watched a game from start to finish in, I don't know, man, maybe 5-6 years. Every game from the bubble that I can watch, I've watched from start to finish.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
I hear that.
Right.
So, not just so being starved with sports. I'm taking anything I can get. I need to get replenished.
Yeah.
So I'm taking it.
And it is a good basketball. I mean,
it is.
It is. The games that I have watched, I've been very impressed in their quality of play, the conditioning of the players, and
you
even
get to learn a lot of the new names.
Right.
That too.
Right.
I was impressed with how they doing the sound during the game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like the crowd noise. And by the time we got to the play-in game, I was like, they don't figure this shit out. Like, they're doing a pretty good job with it. It took me like till halftime to where just my self-conscious, I was like, hold on, they in a bubble. That's right. This shit you hearing now ain't real.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, oh, wow. They figured it out. They did a good job.
Right. Yeah. And at least me personally, anytime I get to see Stephanie Reddy on the sidelines, it's a plus. So
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Right. So especially in that little black dress she had on today. Thank you, Stephanie.
I don't think I caught that. I keep laughing at when Zai was like,
I'm supposed to be looking at somebody.
hey, they made a meme out of that. She was like, you look at me.
Right.
Zai should have been good with that one.
Yeah, Zai should have been like, thumbs up. I'm good with that.
Right. You interviewing me every time?
Right. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you all the time.
Right.
Sign me up.
Right.
Oh man.
Oh, yo, since we just I guess thought about the lady reporter or whatnot, what was the bottom line with Josina? Was it Anderson? What's her last name?
Josina Anderson.
ESPN let her go.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. It came out. I read the article yesterday.
Wow.
It was something stemming from. She was arguing and debating. Oh man, I can't remember right now. I can't recall. I guess we got to go into on another show or something a little later on. But it was, yeah, she's gone. She's 41. She's 41 years old, and she's done. What ESPN is done with her. They didn't like some debate that she had on air. Oh, I remember about the Garrett, and what's the kid name? The Garrett Rudolph fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they didn't like the stance, and it stemmed and snowballed from that. And, ultimately they ended up letting her go.
Oh, apparently she's been gone for a minute.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing articles like June 4th and June 1st that she's out.
Yeah, they ultimately, definitely, they let her go.
Wow.
I mean, what she was saying on air was egregious. I didn't find anything, egregious about it.
All right. Well, if the ESPN has shown, if you don't toe that company line.
Right. And check it out, though. The only thing was she was just, her point was, okay, some people, when they get to a point of no return with their anger, they don't see anything or anyone.
Mm-hmm.
They just lashing out, and in our community, people might say see red or blank out. But she was like, when the person sees red, they just ultimately trying to hurt the next person. Mm-hmm. They're trying to fight or beat up the next person. Right. And she was saying, that's all I'm saying. She was like, I'm not condoning what Garrett did. However, I'm just saying that he saw red. He didn't care. The only thing he cared about was inflicting harm on whoever it was.
Right.
Yeah, man, and she did an apology and all kind of stuff, but she didn't say anything wrong.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Josina, if you tired of the network producers dancing all in the videos, smiling all up in the camera,
right.
Come to Defy Life.
Hey, Drew that.
Oh, man.
Hey, the pay might not be much, but we'll accept you.
We'll open up. We'll love you. Yeah, see, this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see Braun. I wanted to see Melo on Braun. I hope he takes the challenge. They got him on Braun. I hope he takes the challenge. But they got Green on Dame, Jay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh man. Well, y'all have the benefit of results by the time y'all hear this show, so you'll know the results of this Lakers Blazers game. So talk about it amongst yourselves, and we'll talk about games 2 and through whatever next week. Right. But yeah, so big happening in Cowboy world today, Al.
Man.
So newly signed. Well, actually, Cowboy world and now Chicago Bears world too, Pooh.
You jinxed.
Yeah, man. So the Cowboys newly signed defensive tackle Gerald McCoy out, Pro Bowl defensive tackle Gerald McCoy out for the season with a torn quadriceps muscle. And also with that, the Cowboys, probably not by coincidence, activated Dontari Poe off of the inactive list. So there's somebody, at least another big body there, another former Pro Bowler. Well, what's the effect on the Cowboys and they also released McCoy because they had an injury settlement. So what's the effect on the Cowboys with McCoy out? They did, and they said they bring him back next season if he's healthy.
Okay, all right. So first, let me just say it's so good to be talking real football stuff. Okay, this is probably we've been kind of speculating and talking kind of about football, but this might be the first 2020 conversation about real football stuff. Right. But I think when you look at the Cowboys, Gerald McCoy was really going to be, he was one of our big pickups coming into the coming out of the offseason. We had lost Malik Collins to the Raiders. So we were looking to upgrade, and I thought, honestly, for a season or two, that even though I am a Malik Collins fan, I did think Gerald McCoy was a step up for a season or two while we developed some young boys. But in the meantime, what that means is, with him out, is that some of these young boys that we were hoping would kind of hopefully develop. We're going to need to see them play and step into those shoes, or we're going to have to go somewhere else and find that 3-technique D tackle. But we drafted a dude last year. I'm trying to think of his name. D tackle, number 79. What's that dude's name? Trying to pull it up as we talk.
I can't remember his name either. I know you're talking about.
Okay, so it'll come to me. I'm sure it'll come to me. But the other dude that we had is Trayvon something true.
Yeah, so about something with a T.
But it'll come to me. We also picked up
Tristan Hill.
Yeah. So Tristan Hill, he was drafted 2nd round last year and didn't really do much at all last year. So definitely a disappointment. But hoping he would, under McCoy, kind of step his game up. If not, then we also got Neville Gallimore out of Oklahoma.
Right.
And I like that kid. I thought he was. I think we might have got him in the 3rd round. Definitely thought we got good value, and he's gonna be a good player in this league. So hopefully one of those players can step up. What it also probably means is Tyrone Crawford, who was hurt part of the season, slides, and he has played D tackle before. Probably get some burn at D tackle, which actually, everything being everything, is not a bad move, especially with us signing Griffin to the team, because now we were definitely with Griffin, Lawrence, Alden Smith, hopefully Randy Gregory. We was having enough DNs to Dorrance Armstrong, another guy we was hoping would have a good season. Yeah. We drafted that guy, Anai. So we got some ends to get some rotation, some burn. So for Crawford to slide into the middle is not necessarily a bad thing. But so hopefully, and Tristan Hill is 97, not 79, just FYI. Okay. But hopefully, Tristan, because we were high on him coming into the season last year, he just didn't pan out. Hopefully, a whole season under his belt, comes into the league, new defensive scheme, defensive line coach, could have an impact on this player, and with an opportunity in front of him, he can kind of pull his weight. And because otherwise, we don't have, if those are big question marks. Like everything I threw out there were all question marks. There's no, oh yeah, we got this. But hopefully one of those question marks will come through.
True. Okay. Pooh, you mentioned that I did jinx you. So last week on Sleepers of Chicago Bears camp, I threw out the name Artie Burns at you. Right. And today, right on cue, Artie goes out and tears an ACL, and he's done for the season. Before we move any further, get better, Artie. We hope you recover fully and put this behind you and have a great 2021 season. But sucks for Artie, sucks for the Bears. By all reports, he'd come out strong. The beginning of camp, he was running with the number ones at right cornerback. So, Pooh, what does this mean for the Bears, and who's waiting in the wings?
All I could say was fucking Jay, man.
Count on me. Right, that's what friends are for.
I was like, Jay, man, this is my best friend. He always gonna be my nemesis, though. Right. That kid gonna throw Artie Burns, Artie go down.
I was like, man, Pooh gonna kill me.
Hey, but I say, let's sign Logan Ryan, which I've been hollering at for months.
Yeah,
let's sign Logan Ryan. Even if we play Logan Ryan at safety. I've been saying let's sign Logan Ryan. He's a talented guy, man. He's probably not the fastest guy, but he's big. He's decent speed. He's an excellent tackler, and he's a smart guy. And he put out an article, he and his agent, saying, hey, you know what? You guys can picture me as a safety. I can tackle well. I'm ready. I can move to safety if anyone needs me. Right. So they put his numbers up on the scale with the best safeties in the league. And believe it or not, he had more tackles, just as many interceptions, just as many sacks. He had more passes defended. He had better numbers than all of them. The only person he didn't have better, the only person he didn't have better numbers than Jamal Adams. I mean, but Tyrone Matthew and whoever you name,
Minka,
he had better.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, not. He had more tackles than Minka, but not picks.
Right.
Minka had more picks, but tackles, passing back, he had more than that. But man, I want to give him a shot. But of course, we probably gonna get a young guy shot. The kid we drafted in the second round, third.
Jalen. Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson. They say he was a first round pick. It was injury concerns. The reason why he went in the third round. However, I like him. I like him and what I'm reading about him, what they're saying about him. But man, I would love for us to sign Logan Ryan before someone else does, because people are going down. And before this week's out, he'll probably be with someone, because someone else lost the corner as well. Yeah, I can't recall who it was, but someone else lost the corner. Someone lost the safety. So man, let's
honestly, I think with this, with the way this offseason has played out and going into this season, I think this is just the beginning of these types of injuries. Yeah. And it's going to just be, if we make it to the end of the season, it's going to be those teams that were able to deal with the injuries the best. But I really, Achilles and torn this and hamstrings. Yeah.
Or the teams that are lucky enough not to get them.
Oh, that too.
Yeah. And then y'all also, Pooh, y'all did sign former Cleveland Browns great Buster Screen, or Jets great too.
Coming up the Jets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When you say great, how are you using it?
It's tongue in cheek.
Oh, okay. That was,
not even worthy of air quotes.
We signed, but I like Buster in the inside though. Buster's scrappy. I like Buster. I think they put him on they put him out on the island a lot, but I like Buster.
Make sure when you make that statement, are you talking about the Cleveland Buster?
You're right about that.
Or the Jets?
Or the Jets Buster. You're right. No, you're right. But I don't like.
He had a good season with us. He did have that first season with the Jets.
Right. No, he was. Yeah, no, he was solid. But I don't like Joe. What's it? Pigano. I don't like his. Yeah, coordinator.
Really? Oh, wow.
Nah, I don't like what he inherited. He should have been able to do more. And I thought that it was no way in the world that we don't go out there and bring in. Dang. Now I'm forgetting like Al, man. What's the old Jets old coach? He's down there.
Rex.
Boyd.
Todd
Bowles. Yeah. I'm thinking there's no way we don't bring in Todd Bowles on our defense. There's no way. And that I called the man Chuck. And we bring in Chuck to inherit that D. And I know he's known for that, but Todd Bowles, I think our D would have been something special, or continue to be that with Todd Bowles, and of course Bruce Arians, scooped him up.
Yeah, y'all would have had to make him probably a head coach. I think chances are he would have ended up with Bruce. That'd probably been his first choice. Just kind of like, well, I don't go anyway. I'm gonna go back to my homeboy
But I don't know, because we had so much talent. That's like playing with the loaded.
I got you. Talent wise.
Yeah, that's playing with the loaded deck. Like if you can get that job, he can race back to get the head coach position. Because once someone see you going to leaps and bounds with that D, now they're looking at you for a head coach.
Yeah. Good point. But he ended up, I like Todd.
I like Todd.
He ended up in the
league.
Really
like Todd.
I thought he was doing a good job with the Jets.
Great. Yeah. I like Todd too. And believe it or not, no one even thinks about it. The Buccaneers are top 10 D.
Yeah.
Top 10 D. So
Yeah, he's solid.
I don't like Chuck as our coordinator though. He's so basic, Jay. You know, I mean,
Ground
he's so
Chuck.
plain Jane, huh?
Ground Chuck.
Ground Chuck.
You know, he's so plain Jane.
Man. Leave you Chuck alone, man. Chuck the one that didn't he? Think he
Didn't he
used to
what?
go to the Colts.
Yeah, Colts, but that wasn't. They went in the playoffs and had a good run, but that was their offense. It wasn't their D.
Nah, I was just joking. Chuck was out with cancer and Bruce Arians.
Oh, that's that dude.
Bruce Arians and took the team to the playoffs.
Yeah, that was. Yeah,
Chuck came back and got fired.
Came back and got fired.
Yeah.
And Bruce Wayne got another job.
And Bruce became a legend. All right.
Yeah, exactly. But
That started the legend of Bruce Arians.
Yeah, you're right. That did. I just don't get it, man. Like, I mean, nothing against Chuck, but we have qualified guys that don't even get looked at, man. And Todd Bowles, don't you scoop him? Chuck done been out the game for a year or two, and we loaded with guys, and we, you know what? I'm not gonna beat this horse into the ground. Go ahead, Jay.
No, man, good. You don't like Chuck, we get it. But again, man, shout out to Artie Burns, man. I had high hopes for Artie, and I hate it didn't work out in Pittsburgh, and I was excited that he was getting a fresh start. So I hope this is, he only signed a 1-year deal, so it's kind of a prove it year for him. So hopefully he latches on somewhere next year when he's healthy and bounces back.
Speaking of bouncing back, I saw something come through on Twitter that Dez Bryant might have a tryout with the Ravens this week.
Yeah, I saw that.
And would love to see Dez back in the league. Would have loved to see him. There was talk about him coming back with the Cowboys this year as a place for him to rebuild his career. But either way, I would love to see him get back in the league. One of my favorite players, and just think he's a good talent and personality, and his passion for the game is something you want on a football field. So,
yeah, I like Dez, but I think Dez is done.
Yeah,
Dez Keon done. He needs to let it go.
We gotta see him. We gotta see him at least in the game. See what he looks
he
like.
looks explosive, but that's without anybody on him.
Right?
No pads on, no helmet, any of that.
I mean, he'll never be even before. That last season with the Cowboys, he was not the number one, maybe even the number two receiver. Like, he definitely had declined in terms of his skills.
Right.
But I still, there's roles for those veteran wide receivers if you're still willing to, play your position as a veteran wide receiver. So hopefully he get because I like to see. I don't want him to go out like that,
And the reason I say that is he's done is because, like you said, he's not going to be your number one, your number two, probably not your number three. 3 at best is what you can hope for. Chances are he's going to be a role player, probably a fourth receiver. If you're not a starting receiver, you got to play special teams. And at this point, I don't think he plays special teams. He's not going to be a gunner. He's not a return man. So it's hard for those guys to stick. That's why you don't see a lot of old receivers in the league, playing those roles because they got to play special teams. So that's why I say he's done. There's just no other role out there for him.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. This listener question bugged me the fuck out today. First of all, shout out to our boy Dre from Atlanta. We ain't heard from Dre in a while, so shout out to Dre. Dre wants to know. I'll just rotate through these names. Y'all give me one sentence to answer. So Dre says, what do you miss most about each of your former co-hosts? And on the list he has Rodney, Keon, Money, West Coast J, and Yosh. Al.
Dre definitely one of our top listener, question asker.
Right.
So shout out to Dre. Shout out to Dre for knowing all of the previous co-hosts.
Yeah, Dre been around for a while.
Right. So that's what's up. Okay, so first one, Rodney.
Yeah, so I'm gonna rotate between both of you. So,
Okay.
So Rodney first. Al, one sentence. What do you miss most about Rodney?
I miss most about Rodney his knowledge of hip hop lyrics and being part of the trivia contest.
Yeah, that
He was
stands
a
out.
beast.
All right,
He was a beast.
gotta shout out to Rodney for his trivia. Pooh, what do you miss most about Mr. Rodney McDaniel? Kansas City Rodney, what they call him.
Hip hop knowledge as well.
Yeah, Rodney was always on point with the hip hop knowledge. For all 3 shows he was here. He was deadly. Another last of the originals, Keon Small. Pooh, what do you miss most about Keon?
His intensity.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. Al, what do you...
I described it as his competitiveness,
Okay.
and we definitely argued a lot more when he was a co-host.
Right.
Like
Right.
as a show.
Yeah.
It was a
Oh,
lot more
yeah.
arguments.
And the shows were a lot longer. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, man. Yeah.
His mumble mentality.
Oh, shit.
Lord.
Oh, man. Money. Al, what do you miss most about Money?
I like his energy. I miss his energy.
Right.
The way I mean, not just his upbeatness, but I like the way he attacked an issue. And he brought a lot of energy to the conversations. And then sometimes you might show that and I know I've gone into 3 sentences now, but I always thought it was funny when he might see it another way, and then he'd be like, oh, okay,
Right.
the whole energy like just leaves the conversation. Like, oh yeah, all right. Oh, okay, all right.
Right.
Damn.
He's out like a lamb. Oh, man. Yeah. Pooh, what do you miss most about Money?
What's funny is I was thinking the same exact word, so I'm gonna double down on energy as well.
Okay. Good one. West Coast J, Pooh, what do you miss most about West Coast?
West Coast was knowledgeable, man. So I'm gonna go with knowledge.
Okay. Al?
Definitely he was a knowledgeable brother, but I went with his West Coast chill.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a different element to the cast. Yeah, definitely. And lastly, Yosh. Al, what do you miss most about Yosh?
So I miss his outlandishness. Like it would just be times where, like, we would have to say these
Disclaimers.
the disclaimers, yes, because you just never know where this brother was going or what he was going to say, or just it was just outlandishness, but in a really really good way.
Yeah. Pooh, what do you miss most about Yosh?
Yeah, I'm gonna double down on that. I'm definitely gonna say commentary. His commentary.
Cool. Yeah. The first time I heard his ad libs, the wah, 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 yo, that was classic.
The theme music,
The theme music, yeah.
right, all of those things, that was kind of funny.
Good. Yeah. Shout out Dre, man. Damn good question. And again, like Al said, the fact that you even anybody comes on here that mentions Rodney, man, you getting shout outs for the next month.
No doubt.
Yeah, because we was recording shows on conference calls at that point. So
he really don't have any business remembering Rodney.
Yeah, I barely remember Rodney. When I was putting,
I had to go listen to old shows just to see who he was
right.
talking about.
Whenever I mentioned Rodney on the show, I had to think about it for a second. What was that dude's name?
Right.
But yeah, so
Right.
yeah. So Dre, you Dre probably. I don't remember the first time Dre asked the question, but it wasn't long after we started listening to questions. Dre was out there.
Right.
So shout out to Dre, man. Dre been a day one. I gotta email you back, Dre. Send you a T-shirt.
I was just about to say, man, we might have to send Dre a T-shirt, man, and just send him in it. We got to do something for Dre.
Yeah, we got to send Dre a care package or something.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah,
I'm definitely with that.
So Dre, and hit me back, Dre. Things like been 2 times I respond to your emails, you don't hit me back. So hit me back so we can get you something. Yeah. So y'all ready for some trivia?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Let's get it.
I have in front of me 26 famous TV catchphrases. So I'm just going to go down the list as old school as we do it. I will give you the catchphrase. You give me the show it came from or the character who said it. Either one.
Okay.
And if you get it right, you move on. You get it wrong, the next person has a chance to answer the next question right, and to win the game.
Okay.
All right. And they will. There's no level of difficulty. They're all just randomly selected.
Okay.
All right. Starting off with this one. Who won last? Who?
Al won.
Al won.
No. You won.
No, you won, Jay. Yeah, you won.
Yeah, I'm saying out of y'all two, Al won. Right?
Al.
Yeah.
I'm on a streak.
Right. Yeah, you on a big streak again. Right.
Yeah, I'm like 0-9.
Oh man. All right. First up, Al. First one is Dynamite.
Okay, that'd be good time, JJ.
Good times, JJ. All right. Pooh, you're next. Yours is Doe.
That's is that Homer Simpson?
That is Homer Simpson. Yes. Oh man. Al, next up is Bazinga.
Oh.
I think I'm about to give me a win.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't have a clue.
No need to count them down.
That is Sheldon
Perfect
Sheldon from Big Bang Theory.
Never even watched it.
Never watched that.
Right.
Right.
My son likes it though.
Okay.
That
It's a funny show.
All right. Pooh, for the win.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
That's what she said?
Yeah.
I might still be
5,
in this week.
I think you
4, 3.
Hey, I don't know what
2.
that is.
Wow.
I don't know.
You're killing me. That would be Michael Scott from The Office.
Never watched all of it.
Really? Wow. Great show.
Okay.
Al, you still in it. Yours is What You Talking About, Willis?
Oh, thank Jesus.
Right.
That'd be different strokes.
Different Strokes, Arnold, yes. Oh, man. All right, Pooh, on you. Yours is A.
Hey.
Oh, I might
Let me hear it one more time.
A. Right.
Hey.
Yeah, this is before your time, so I might get you on this one.
Hey, you don't have to count, Jay. I don't.
Oh, no count. All right.
Yes.
That is you know what, Al?
From Happy Days.
Yes, Arthur Fonzarelli from Happy Days.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I remember.
Hey, the thumbs up.
Right.
I got it now. I got the phone.
All right, Al, for the win. Book 'em, Dano.
Oh, that is from Kojak?
Oh, incorrect. That is from Hawaii Five-0.
Hawaii Five-0.
When Steve McGarrett would tell his partner Danny Williams, a.k.a. Dano, to book the perp he had just called. Book 'em, Dano.
Still in it. You're still
All right.
in it.
All right. Pooh.
What we got?
Danger, Will Robinson.
Did you say Danger Will Robinson?
Yes.
I don't
5.
know.
No?
I don't
That's before our time. Wow. That's
but I know that.
Yes. Where's from?
Space.
Lost in Space. All right.
Yeah. Again, before your time though.
True.
All right. Al, this is on you. Yours is Clear Eyes, Full Hearts, Can't Lose.
I have no idea. I ain't even going front. I have no idea.
That is from Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights.
Oh, okay.
And the coach, that was one of his catchphrases when he would start speeches to the teams.
Okay.
All right. Next one is How You Doing? Pooh?
How you doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
5, 4, 3, 2,
Bernie Mac.
Is incorrect. Al, you know that one?
I have no idea.
That is Joey from Friends.
I never really watched Friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get to Al. Yours is Hey Now.
Hey now.
Oh, I know this. Hey now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
What is that?
I know I'm gonna know this. But
That is from the Larry Sanders Show with Gary Shandling.
No, I wouldn't have got that.
Nah.
His best friend Hank.
Okay.
All right. Pooh,
Yeah.
you got some splaining to do.
You got some explaining to do.
You got some splaining to do. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I can't think of that, man. No, I don't know it.
Al, you know it?
We Puerto Rican, huh?
Right. I'm like, how many Puerto Ricans? I only can think of really 2.
I couldn't think of
And
this.
I'm a guess. I'm only thinking of 2. I can think of 3 now. I forgot George Lopez. I'm going with Ricky Ricardo.
That is Ricky Ricardo from I Love Lucy.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember now.
Usually he would lead it off with Lucy, you got some splaining to do. But
Right.
that gave the answer away.
Yeah, that would have that giveaway. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Al, back to you. Is that your final answer?
He just passed away too. Shout out to Regis. And Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Pooh, I love it when a plan comes together.
Oh shit! I know this. I love it when a plan comes together.
5, 4,
Damn, I don't.
Wow.
2,
I don't forgot it.
1.
I'm gonna go with Barney Fight, but I know it's not.
Oh man!
Get a fool.
All right. 18. Yeah.
Get it a fool.
Hey, I knew the saying, but I couldn't think of what. Dang.
All right. Back to you, Al. Oh my God! They killed Kenny.
That's South Park.
South Park. Yes.
Kenny. Yeah.
All right. Pooh. Live long and prosper.
Out of Star Trek.
That is Star Trek. Dr. Spock. Yes.
Wait, hold on a minute. I did win though, right? Like,
Yeah, you won.
Yeah. I'm just going.
just checking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My bad. I'm just going through the rest of the slides. I ain't mean to say nobody's name. Anybody can guess these.
No.
Next is Norm.
Oh, that's Cheers.
That's Cheers. Kiss My Grits.
That's Alice.
That's Alice.
Flo.
Flo from Alice, yeah. Sock It To Me.
Sock It To Me. I know that, but I can't think of what that is. Sock It To Me.
Like the Jeffersons? So I don't know where that's from.
That's from no particular person. Pretty much everybody on the show said it, but Laugh-In.
Oh no, I have no clue about that.
Yeah, never watched
Just next one's easy. Yabba Dabba Doo.
Yeah,
Yabba Dabba Doo. Yeah. Here's Johnny.
Johnny Carson show.
Johnny Carson show. Yeah,
The Tonight Show.
Tonight Show. All right. Did I do that?
that's the Family Matters.
Right.
Urkel.
We got Urkel. Bam.
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 Emerald.
That's Emerald. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know what that was.
To the Batmobile.
Oh yeah.
That's Batman.
That's
Yeah.
easy. And last one is Just One More Thing.
I don't know that one.
That's Columbo.
Columbo.
Oh, yeah. He would do that as part of his interrogation.
Right. He's always leaning out the car, or he'd come back to, just one more thing.
Yeah. Just
Right.
one more thing, though. How did you...
Right. Yeah.
How did you do that?
Oh, man. Well, that's it. That's all of them. Congrats, Al. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
Dope. Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, Al, you won, man. What you got for me? What's your parting shot?
My parting shot is, if y'all didn't watch Michelle Obama last night, regardless of what your party is and what you might have been doing last night, if you didn't watch her speech during the DNC convention, I just think it was well done, well written, well said, right on point, unifying speech. It is no surprise why she's such a popular figure. She's just authentic and really comes across as a person who cares about the collective. And I think she made a very good argument to the country yesterday in terms of why character should matter, why competence should matter, and why, regardless of whether you voted last year or you voted for Trump last time or not, this year it should be about what's best for the country, and that this current president has proved that he's not worthy of this position. So it is a clear, obvious choice, and get out and vote whatever you need to do early, and we need to do it as a collective. We all need to make our voices heard. And I think she did a great job last night conveying that point.
Cool. Yeah. She's such a powerful lady. A powerful person, period. Pooh, what say you? What you got for me?
Hey, nothing big, man. Kids are going back to school on that hybrid schedule. Wish them safety. Stay safe. Ones who out there still lollygagging around, man, cover up. People that's not covering up, I don't even know what I want to say. Just, hey, stay safe, man. Corona's still out there. It's real. I want to wish Quanda. She got a birthday coming up this weekend. So for Cornbread Fed.
Shout out, Quanda.
So I want to shout her out for her birthday. That's about it, man.
No doubt. That's what, in my head, I call Quanda sis of the sis. That's Quanda. So, happy birthday, Quanda. Yeah, I got nothing crazy. Ditto to what Pooh said. Don't be that asshole. Wear your mask. You can't get into a lot of places without one now, so you really don't have a choice.
Right.
But yeah, so but again, nothing really, really crazy. Shout out to we mentioned former co-hosts here, but just want to really give a quick shout out to Money and West Coast Jay, and also Hollywood Paul. We talked about former co-hosts, but those are two who they always joke that we kicked them off the show and they got their own show. But when we made that decision to kind of cut back on voices here and streamline the show, that's one thing that we all agreed on, that Money at that point, Money and West Coast had the chemistry and the know-how and the gumption to carry their own show. That's something that we knew in our heart. So we talk about former co-hosts, and those two are just picking those two because those are our former co-hosts who we knew that they were our former co-hosts for a reason. So shout out to the guys, those two, Money, West Coast, and they brought on Hollywood Paul, who was already a writer at Defy Life, and made a hellified trio. So you guys do a great job on Unsupervised, the spinoff. Y'all go cop unsupervised shirts. They are dope. Go get an unsupervised t-shirts. Those guys do a great job over there.
No doubt.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, guys, man, that's a great show as usual. Al, just one more thing. No, I'm just kidding. Oh man, y'all, this has been episode 169 of the Defy Life Podcast. This is JR, Al, and Pooh. We'll talk to y'all next week. Until then, Defy Life.
Defy Life.
Defy Life.
We're told that greatness is exceptional when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit defylifegear.com to get fitted for greatness.